Is this thing on?
Hey!
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Stephen. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
Much. Look at my lovely co-host giving me a bit of a birthday surprise live on air. It's now 2 days post birthday, so I'm happy to have a bit more love. That's great. Thank you so much.
The older you get, the longer your birthday is.
Well, they don't, I'm not usually one of these people that does the birthday week thing. You know how people go, I'm having a birthday week. You're like, okay, cool. Oh, shush. It's me. Why don't I shut up? Okay.
I don't know.
That was dramatic.
I've asked that question before.
Yes. I ask that question a lot. Why don't I shut up? But yeah, I'm not usually the birthday week person, but it seems to be unfolding that way, which I'm fine with. I'm down with a bit more
like
celebration.
You're ever, hey, how you doing, Joe?
Hey, Joe.
It's not like you're ever a birthday week kind of person. Well, maybe some people are. But
some people,
the older you get, it's like,
are.
oh, I'm sorry I missed you on Thursday, but can we do lunch on Saturday for your birthday? And then another friend says, hey,
Lashana,
come by for a drink. I'll buy you a birthday cocktail. And before you know it, it's been a week-long birthday socialization.
I'm never going to say no to a birthday cocktail. That's
well, if you were closer, we'd be buying you birthday cocktails.
I know. One day soon, I'm sure. Thank you. I did have a lovely birthday. I did. The day was not very, much to write home about. Just slept in, and then I had to go to work at nighttime and teach 5 classes. But got all the birthday love at work like I normally do. So that was good. But it's another day. It's another day. Another year around the sun, etc., etc.
Indeed.
Ugh. Tell you what. Ugh. It happens though. It just happens. You're like, oh god. I feel like I haven't stopped to breathe this week.
You can stop it.
Yeah, I know. Well, you can, but
getting older, I mean,
there's no more.
It beats the alternative.
Yes, true. Oh, snow finally melting for you, Lashana. How are you doing, B? You're still neck deep in the polar vortex of it all, aren't you?
Freezing. It was warm for 3 hours on Tuesday. I left work for lunch and it was 32 degrees. When I got out of lunch, it was 40 degrees. And when I got out of work, it was 31.
Whoa.
I know. So we had like 3 hours of over freezing.
Just a little heat window.
Yes, all those temperatures were Fahrenheit, not Celsius.
Yeah, that's right. If it was Celsius, you'd be melting.
Yes.
That's not good. How have you been, Miss Trini? Been a busy lady lately?
I have been busy. Yeah, I'm getting ready to leave next week for a trip, so I'm trying to get everything sorted. And I feel like I'm going insane.
Oh no. That's not good.
It's like a good kind of insane.
It's a busy insane. It's the
yeah.
Like, oh, I gotta do this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And then that's like me.
When you're traveling.
She hangs out with grandma.
She gets spoiled at grandma's house.
Yeah, she's
like, bye, Mom. Have a great time. I'll be at grandma's.
When my dog used to hang out at grandma's, grandma would buy her Wendy's hamburgers for dinner.
There we go. We love, and that's why they love their grandmas. That's what they love, grandmas. But you're like me. I kind of like I'm always working just up until the trip. So it's just like, do this, get this done, done. And then you get on the plane or whatever, you're like, what? I can't do anything for a couple of hours. It's like,
I'm stuck here in this seat.
Okay. hurtling through the skies. It's best not to think about, the metal tube that we entrust ourselves to as we fly through the atmosphere. Because what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
The alternative is a ship that takes 7 weeks.
Or staying at home doing nothing. Everyone's like, when you travel, oh my God, aren't you worried about this, that? And I was like, I'd rather die going somewhere interesting than here at home. At least I'd have a story to tell in the afterlife if I didn't make it.
For years, when people would say stuff to me like that, I would just look at them and say, I remain firmly committed to my own obscurity, and I trust that nothing stupid will happen to me while I travel.
Yeah, right. Right? There's not going to be anything
I'm sitting here in the dark. Shit. I didn't ever turn in my...
Oh.
Nobody told me. You're sitting there in the dark, Vera.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that dark, V.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't have to turn it on.
It's got
mood think lighting. I look good?
It's fine. Fine. Looks fine to me, girl. It looks all good in the hood. I hate that. So yeah, not too dramatic a birthday week. I just do the things and then move on to the next. Because before you know it'll be another year. And your birthday is not far away, is it, Miss Vera?
Yeah, it's coming up, but who cares?
It's coming up too, but we're not talking about that one.
We got party hats. We're ready.
Yeah. I'll have to find one.
Week, I won't be wearing my Christmas tree.
In a pinch. At least you had it.
Trina said, let's have some birthday hats. And I'm like, I think I might have one. No, I don't have one. What do I got that I can make? I was looking for construction paper. And I'm like,
oh my God, I was going to get a play school moment.
Well, you made one that lights up. Like, how badass is that?
It was. I had a little birthday treat. I'll talk about it. So my little birthday treat that was released on my birthday was our interview this week with Ashley Collins, who has written a book about the Scream films. Scream 7 has just come out the other day. So if you are a fan of Scream, that interview is really, really interesting and came out on my birthday. So that's exciting to me. I care about murder. So that was exciting. That was my birthday present to myself via the show. Talk to random things about people and things. That should be our tagline. I think it's very, very impressive, very succinct.
Very catchy.
I feel like my brain's on scramble today. I'm sorry if I'm rambling like a fool. As opposed to when I ramble regularly.
I was going to say, there's not that much different between your regular ramble and your fool ramble.
Nah, yeah, well, there's plenty of fools are rambling this week, so we should probably jump into this week's
hot load of hot topics.
The longest ramble in State of the Union in history, right?
Yeah.
The longest.
Actually, no, they suspect that there was one president who went longer, but it was before recorded history.
Someone else likes to hear themselves talk as much as Donald Trump. But
I did not watch a single part of it. I didn't watch a single clip. I didn't watch a single pundit. I don't care what this man has to say anymore.
Well, if you're looking for facts, they are definitely not there.
Yeah, I mean, he's the liar in chief.
The clips that I've seen, there was one TikTok that's like, I've edited the truthful moments together from the State of the Union address, and it's literally him just going for like 2 minutes. Okay, true. And then someone else has done a little clip together where they have just focused on tonsil stones shooting out of his mouth onto things. Like,
oh, gross.
I don't know if I want to watch this. That's gross. Oh, and he died 2 weeks later, Vera. Don't threaten us with a good time, Joe.
I know,
Don't threaten us with a good time.
I thought he'd be gone by Christmas.
There's not really much to talk about because it's all just not true. So we're not going to spread fake news as a matter of routine. We did have news break last week that we didn't really we kind of talked about because Christina was in shock, but now we've had another celebrity death last week. As we were on air, it was revealed that Eric Dane from Grey's Anatomy fame passed away. God, that was a quick moment. That ALS is no joke.
Disease progressed really fast.
Yeah.
But I got to take a moment here because
I was hoping you would.
Eric Dane family has had to post a GoFundMe. This is the second celebrity in 2 weeks who's had to post a GoFundMe because even the rich and famous cannot afford health care in this fucking country. This is beyond ridiculous. You know? I don't know I do know what the answer is, but I don't know how to get to the answer. We need socialized medicine in this country. The fact that the rich and famous have to have GoFundMes to cover their end of life care is beyond criminal. The fact that anybody can justify for-profit health care is ridiculous. Mini rant.
She stopped divorce. I think terminated divorce proceedings when she found out how sick he was. But Rebecca Gayheart was famously fighting with their health insurance provider to try and get the care that she needed for him and he needed for his just illness, let alone everything else.
Leaving anything to your children.
Yeah.
Let alone making sure that they have a place to live and money for school after your passing. You know, everything that they have has gone to their fucking healthcare.
There's just no guarantees in this world, no matter who you are, that anyone will look after you unless it's you.
There's no guarantees.
You know what I mean? That's the thing. That's the sad realization of it all, really. Like, you're supposed to have a healthcare system that you can go to when you're in need, not a pay-per-view moment.
Doesn't exist anywhere but in this country. Medical bankruptcy. Millions of people every fucking year go bankrupt, losing their house, losing their savings, losing their livelihood sometimes because they can't afford health care. It's the biggest shame in this country, and we have a shit ton of stuff to be ashamed of.
I don't. It's sad. It's just more sadness, really. You would think that when you are in need, someone, the people that you are paying for insurance and all that kind of stuff, your money will go somewhere. It will help you as opposed to getting just caught up in red tape and legislature and all that kind of stuff. It's just so
trust me, I know.
Just so depressing. I'm like, oh, so depressing. I'm depressed.
I want Canada to adopt us.
You can always
just the Northeast. They don't have to take any of the red states.
You are close. Yeah, you are close. So you are very, very close. It's. I guess I see it in a different kind of way because I don't know whether this was just dumb luck or fate or something out there that intervened. My father was about to cancel his health insurance 2 days before he was diagnosed with terminal cancer. And that would have been as you say, without some kind of anything, you will burn through that money on just the simplest treatment. But just having that safety net allowed them to really focus on the treatment, and then when things weren't obviously working out the way that everyone wanted, there wasn't that extra added stress of how am I going to pay for this. All of that kind of, I mean, you still pay something, but you're not spending thousands and thousands of dollars that you don't have to try and make someone A, better, or B, comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just, yeah, I can't imagine what it is like to be, especially in the position of somebody like James Van Der Beek, like Eric Dane, where they are the breadwinners, they have these children that they won't see grow up. That's a whole different kettle of fish and a whole different sadness, but they want to ensure that if they can't be there, that they're at least cared for financially. And you can't guarantee that, even if you are, as you said, a famous person.
Mm-hmm. You can't guarantee that kind of security, no. But you shouldn't have to bankrupt your family to pay for end-of-life care. The fact that these gentlemen worked their whole lives, owned property, earned fabulous amounts of money. They were rich and famous. And even they can't afford end-of-life care in this country.
Okay, well, enough depression. Should we get some, maybe, Schadenfreude / justice? Hot justice served internationally.
Yeah, my favorite.
We love hot justice served internationally. Peter Mandelson, former British ambassador to the United States, was arrested by UK detectives on Monday over misconduct claims in connection with his alleged ties to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Shock and horror. There are people involved in an Epstein scandal that are being prosecuted.
I know. Who knew? But I got to tell you, I do have a problem with the fact that the people that are being prosecuted are not being prosecuted for the child rape and sex trafficking charges. They're being charged for financial inappropriation and misuse of public information.
But is that not a way in?
It is. And it's, it is how the country took down Al Capone in the 30s. He was charged with tax evasion and not crimes. But, well, though tax evasion is a crime.
Not the crime that he was guilty. Not the biggest fish to fry, with Al Capone. But it's all right. Well, the same thing with Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Not what he was arrested for, but it's, I guess, a tightening of the net.
Yeah. Well, I do think it's a matter of time where somebody's going to turn a plea deal and say, all right, I'll cooperate.
Right. Like, that's my thing too.
And I'll start
we're going after these people, and who's going to name names, and what names are they going to name in order to get themselves a little... They couldn't get it out of Ghislaine Maxwell. So, as we said last week or the week before, the transparency, as we're finding out today, with the closed door meetings not actually being closed door, thanks to Lauren Boebert, there will be no transparency for anyone involved in the Epstein.
Well, I think there will be eventually
in the US.
In the US, it's going to come through this DOJ. If the Trump administration, say, if the country flips at the next election, which is possible, it could be a new DOJ looking at this in as little as 18 months. But France has the unredacted files. Germany has the unredacted files. Spain has the unredacted files. And I have to believe Great Britain has the unredacted files. And someone said, and I don't know who the quote is from, that if we take down this administration, that people will see us as the liberators.
Yeah, I think it was... Look, I just have to pause and go, how bad are things when Germany is going, not okay.
Not okay. I've been jumping up and down and screaming this for 10 fucking years.
Miss Goose? Like, should we go back a little bit?
I equated this man with Nazism. God, 24 months ago on air, and Christine laughed at me.
But I'm just like, no, look, you guys are even disappointing the Germans. That's a hard.
It's not me.
That's a hard disappointment factor, right? It's like, oh,
It's not me.
it's not me. But look, there's just got to be. I can't remember who I saw speaking either. On TikTok, they were saying, yes, you're publishing all these names, but where is any prosecution? Where is any arrest? Where is any investigation to anyone?
And you've had these names for 10 fucking years, and not anybody, not the Biden administration, not the first Trump administration, or the second Trump administration have prosecuted anybody. Why?
And yeah. That's the $1 million question, or couple of $1 million, obviously. I did just see something on before we came on saying, and this is, wait for it, where's the banner? Because
allegedly.
Have to do it because, you never know who's going to pick up what at what point. I saw a little TikTok that said, allegedly, to gain access to Epstein Island, you had to have a membership to Mar-a-Lago.
Epstein Island was after most of the original parties occurred in Mar-a-Lago. That's what so many of the victims have testified.
Right.
Their abuse started at Mar-a-Lago. It started at the Zeppo Ranch or whatever the ranch, Zorro Ranch in New Mexico.
Zorro, yeah.
It started at a golf course that Trump owned in California and some weird farm in Alabama. Those are where they were partying first. Epstein Island was the later date upscale
New York,
club
even?
membership.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just.
And you know what else kills me? Where are the chefs and the maids and the people who worked at these ranches? They saw shit. Why aren't they coming forward?
Probably fucking terrified, I would imagine.
Probably.
And we haven't really talked about it because it's still a news story. The coincidence that Savannah Guthrie was the first person, like that major interview with Vienna.
Right.
Oh my God. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying she was one of the first news reporters to interview Epstein survivors. She had 3 specific Epstein survivors on.
Virginia Jeffrey. Thank you. I couldn't speak.
Yes.
It's not. All these things can't be a coincidence. I'm not saying that everything is linked and it's a massive, the whole world is.
Right.
But again, where there's smoke, there's fire.
I want to believe they're not related, but every day it becomes harder to believe that. But I do think that if it does turn out to be related, then you've created a journalist with a fire to put out.
How is she still? How is this woman still missing? Why is she missing?
Yeah.
At what are you gaining from abducting an 80-year-old? And then no one wants money. No one wants an interview. No one wants. You abduct someone for
ransom. Right.
For a ransom. You don't just abduct someone to abduct them. It's not. Yeah. Again, as I said when we were talking that story, it does not smell right to me. I was like, random.
Mm-hmm.
Something else that does not equate to common sense. Nick Reiner is pleading not guilty to the murder of his parents, even though he was covered in their blood. But okay, sure.
Capital murder, it requires a special legal license in this country to defend capital murder. And one of the this was explained to me. There was a very heinous murder here in Auburn about 20 years ago. And one of the people that I did theater with was a capital murder defendant. And he was defending the person accused of murder. And he said that in this country, part of defending and capital murder charge is to always plead not guilty. He said that otherwise, and I don't know the ins and outs of the law, but this was what I was told 20 years ago.
All right. Controversial opinion. On this show, never. They're obviously going to go for a mental health argument here.
I'm surprised that wasn't the
first thing.
That wasn't the plea. Not guilty by reason of insanity, which is a legitimate plea.
But this isn't that.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't that. Like I always say, well, as I've said on mental health issues are nobody's fault.
No.
But it is your responsibility to address those issues and to seek treatment for you. And his parents were even trying to help. Like, there's some culpability there for you if you're in this kind of psychosis where you're going to murder people.
Mm-hmm.
You're responsible for it. I don't even know how to put it. I'm just like
my office mate, the gentleman, the other nurse who I share an office with, he did part of his career in a psychiatric institution. Mine has always been outpatient. I have always worked outpatient. I've never done anything with somebody who's incarcerated for psychiatric care. And he referred to the Reiner, I can't think of his first name now. Mr. Reiner.
Oh, Nick Reiner.
Yeah. Nick, as having all the signs of psychosis. There was something about the eyes, there was something about the stare, there was something about the head tilt that he saw frequently when working with an incarcerated psychiatric population.
I mean, realistically, you're not in a good mental space if you want to murder someone.
Well, yes, I've said that a billion times.
Thank you. I'm just the
desire to commit murder does signify complete psychiatric problem.
Look, yes, there are circumstances where you can view murder in self-defense because of abuse,
right?
Personal threats to safety, all of that kind of stuff. This was not that.
No.
His parents were actively caring for him. He lived on their property with them. This is a murder. And in society, the agreement that we have is that if you do that, then you go bye-byes. You don't, obviously he couldn't factor life in with two people who are looking after him. We're going to let him just, oh no, that's fine. You're mentally ill. Good luck.
The chances of him being released back into society are slim to none, even if he pleads innocent.
I know, but I'm just saying for a mental health argument, he will end up somewhere.
He may end up in an incarcerated psychiatric institution.
They're not going to let him he's not going to be able to go back home.
No.
So at this point, and I can't imagine that his siblings would be like, yeah, that's cool. He was mentally ill. We'll just let that slide that he horribly murdered his parents.
How many siblings did he have?
I think he has two.
He has a brother and a sister.
Brother and a sister. And the sister who had to be the one to discover their parents.
Yeah.
There are some things that are not. You do the. It is the old thing, right? You do the crime, you do the time, and that seems less and less likely in this world these days. But
I don't think that Nick Reiner will see the light of day. I think that he will be incarcerated for the rest of his days. Good. I really do. And even if he's not in a general population prison, he's going to be in some form of psychiatric incarceration.
And I do have genuine empathy for people that do suffer from serious mental illness. but committing a crime and then using it as a defense. I always liken it back to the Manson family. I was like, oh yeah, but we were under duress. No, you still took a knife and killed people. No one was holding you ransom to do that. You did it. And you can't just find Jesus later on and go, it's okay, it's all good, everything's fine.
Jesus loves me. But most of the Manson family also served their life in prison. Most.
One of them.
And I think the one that got compassionate release didn't get compassionate release until she was in her 70s.
But there wasn't, and again, there was no compassion shown to the victims. So why should a perpetrator get compassion? I'm very eye for an eye today. I'm sorry. Bad mood.
I like to think that in some instances we can be above that kind of eye for an eye mentality.
Nah, when they go, I'm not very Michelle Obama about things. When they go high, when they go low, we go high. I'm just like, no, I go subterranean. Let's fuck this shit up.
There's no rehab in prison. There's no rehabilitation built into the system. You know? And even compassionate release.
Some things you can't fix either.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you're never going to be able to bring someone back from the dead after you've killed them.
What about if you create new life, though?
Who is it?
Bonnie Blue.
Oh.
Is pregnant after a 400-person unprotected event. 400.
No.
Person unprotected event to get pregnant. Bonnie Blue is pregnant.
It's real. Well, I don't
it's
know
real.
if the pregnancy is real, but that 400.
The pregnancy is real. The event is real.
Did happen.
Everything about this woman is real.
Like the 400-person event was with the goal to get pregnant. Like she had sex with 400 people.
The sex with the 400 people was more about notice me, give me money, give me records.
But yeah, that's what she. This was I believe this was a separate one to the documentary event. This was a separate event. She wanted to become a mother, and this was because if you remember correctly, we talked about the photos of the after effects of the 1,000-man event that she did, and there was just used condoms everywhere. There was no protection on this one. There was no protection on this one. The father has apparently been identified and has left the country. Wants nothing to do.
Can they identify the father that early?
I would imagine so. I would imagine that they would have had to go through. She seems to be quite organized. Like, for those who don't know who Bonnie Blue is, she's an OnlyFans creator / celebrity. Yeah, she referred to this event as her breeding mission.
How could you participate in something that's named a breeding and a mission?
And like, what are you
doing the country?
Also, like, what are you gonna do at like when the kid's 12? Do you want to know how you were made? Like,
well, that was my comment on the article. I'm like, that kid has a lot of therapy coming up.
Yeah.
yeah.
So there were DNA samples and details taken from every participant before the event, so that it could be narrowed down as to who the possible. But apparently, the father has been identified. But I wouldn't want to claim that either. I mean, what number were you?
An intrauterine sample.
I don't know.
That does not seem possible.
Yeah,
I'm just reading what comes up on the. I'm just reading what comes up on the. That's why if anyone wants to substantiate or poo-poo these claims, please let me know.
I mean,
but
having done some genetic testing in my field of work, there's not a way to swab that child in utero.
I don't know. Something about DNA. It said. I don't know. The only thing I know about DNA is that's how they make the dinosaurs.
I don't know. I think someone clickbaited you, Steve.
But look, hey, a 400-man orgy is not. she's definitely pregnant. She's definitely pregnant. The idea of the father may not be a thing, but she is definitely pregnant. And as somebody said in the comments, this is literally how Freddy Krueger was born. Literally, bastard son of 1,000 maniacs. This is like the future. But how do you explain that to that child later on in life?
And even if you wanted to hide it, you can. It's all over the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who's
Forever.
Yeah, who's your mother? Well,
Forever.
It's forever. But this is what and for somebody who is famously quite flippant about the age of people that she sleeps with, like she's famously gone after young men that are not of legal age or close to not being legal age for these stunts that she does. I was like, oh, I don't. She just makes me go icky ooh ah ah. Someone needs some big therapy bills.
Much cringe going on here.
It's just like, oh, go and get some help because something's not right. And now you're gonna have a child. Now,
yeah,
like, you know, because no one wanted the gays to have the babies. Like, oh, they're going to ruin the children. What's going to happen to them? I don't know. Did your mother cop 400 loads to try and get like pregnant with you in one day? I'd be more worried about that. You know, sanctity of marriage. Look at I watched half an hour of Married at First Sight and wanted to kill myself. I'm like, fucking hell. Like, there are bigger problems in the world than homos having a baby. Come on.
Or adopting children that nobody wants.
Yeah, but, you know. Ugh, 400. And what lucky, I just want to know what lucky number that guy was. Like,
yeah, because
46.
Imagine if he was in the hundreds and how 1 through 99 feels about their swimmers.
Yeah.
Your team's losing.
It's like a really perverse version of The Amazing Race.
And like, were they all lined up?
Usually that's what happens in this. There's a documentary if you really want to traumatize yourself.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, God. Watch it on the plane, wherever you're going.
Hotel rooms.
Yeah. Raffle winner. Yeah, exactly. It's like a lucky dip of gestation. Ooh. So sticky. It'd just be so sticky.
There's a lot of ick in that.
There's a lot of ick. There's a lot of and as we said, awkward conversation and huge awkward international moment happened at the BAFTAs. Oh my God.
I know. This one was rough.
Oh my God. I don't know if everyone read this article / heard about this, but Sinners took an award at the BAFTAs, but the BBC was left to apologize after a racial slur was yelled at Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo at the awards as they accepted. And this is in time photo of their reaction. Now, shocking, yes, very, very shocking that it happened, but the moment was caught on camera and broadcast. The person that issued the racial slur, though, was a gentleman from a documentary about Tourette's syndrome.
It's actually a movie about his experience with Tourette's.
Yes.
Because the young man who played him in the movie was nominated and won. So it's a movie about his experience as a Tourette's.
But this is the reason I'm like, so who apologizes for this?
I believe he apologized. I believe that BAFTA owes an apology, but and I said this on the page. I'm very torn about this. I've worked with people with Tourette's. I know how mortified they get because of the tics. That things that they can't control. There was one patient who just punched, and he'd be walking down the street and the tick was just he bonked several people, and knocked them down and got threatened and arrested and sued. And it was very mortifying for this person to not be able to control that and to not have people understand that there was no malicious intent. So I've seen that part of this disease or this syndrome or whatever Tourette's is called. But, I completely understand how mortified Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo must feel standing there in a moment of pride and accomplishment and having that word fly across the room.
And it's, if you've said, it's audible. It rises above the din. Definitely. Like, oh, jeez.
It wasn't even taken out in the 2-hour delay between Britain and here.
It's just like, oh, okay. But
yeah. I mean, I feel compassion for the gentleman with Tourette's, but I feel a lot of compassion for the two gentlemen on stage.
Just of all the things, like Will Smith slapping someone was crazy. This is crazier. Like, just you don't, especially at the BAFTAs. You're like, I'm British.
We expect crazy at the American Awards with the BAFTAs.
We are British. Look, there's always something controversial happening at an American Awards ceremony. That's why they do it. That's why they televise them. If something wasn't going to happen, they wouldn't put it on TV. But for the BAFTAs, I'm like, oh, we're not that fancy, are we? Shocking.
I think the shocking part, I mean, you don't want this man to be excluded. This is his life story, and you can't sedate him to the point where the ticks evaporate,
No.
And I have a lot of compassion for both sides of this. I don't have any compassion for the BAFTA producers who apologize to the audience, but not to the people involved. I don't have any compassion for the BAFTA producers who didn't edit it out of the American rebroadcast,
Yeah.
But
Alan Cummings handled it quite well, though. I was like, I guess if you want something weird and horrible to happen on stage at your awards ceremony, you want someone like Alan Cummings who can come in and go, look, this is what happened, and this is why it happened, and I was like, okay, I trust Alan. I trust Alan implicitly.
You trust Alan? He produces traitors.
I watch the trade. That's why I trust Alan, because he's so dramatic. I love Alan.
I do love Alan too.
In my next life, I want to come back as Alan Cummings in The Traitors. He's just chewing scenery like no one's business. It's just ridiculous.
He was on my he still is. He hasn't been replaced.
Oh my god, I've watched the final. I watched the Traitors finale. Excuse me.
Alan
I'm
Cummings
out of here.
My list of famous people I'd love to have dinner with.
One of my students actually knows Alan Cummings. I'm like,
really?
Yes. Went to the Alan. You know how he had his little club backstage at Cabaret. Went there and did the thing. It's like, I hate people that have a more exciting life than me.
I went to see him in Cabaret, and it was an understudy.
Oh, that's the worst.
I know. I went to see Aaron Tveit, and it was an understudy.
Rude.
I know. I got bad luck. I got bad luck with stars in Broadway.
Well, we got lucky with Sunset Boulevard. I was like, if I've come all the way here, and it's not Nicole Scherzinger, I'm gonna punch on. But luckily, she was there. We saw it. We did the thing.
We did see her.
We did the thing. Yay!
Yay!
For favorite video of Vera. So we've been talking a lot about cancer recently. Lucky us.
I know. Aren't we the happy podcast?
Snooki.
Oh, Snooki's got cancer. How much do you want to bet Snooki ends up with a GoFundMe?
Well, hers is not serious, not at a serious stage. So Snooki had after a obviously doctor's visit, has revealed to people via the lovely social media platforms that she has been diagnosed with stage 1 cervical cancer. And she is stepping forward to really drive home the importance of women's health and early detection, making sure that everyone's doing the thing that they need to be doing to be, especially of a certain age now. These younger celebrities, even though they're not. I mean,
and
48
anybody
for
who's been exposed
48,
to the
52.
HPV virus needs to be screened
Yep.
more routinely.
Snooki's 38. We are of the age now where this starts happening, and all these people have families. They have people that they need to care about. I think that that's the thing we should be driving home to people, that if you feel, you know your own body, if you even half suspect that something's wrong, go and get it looked at. This is what Snooki says. I'm 38 years old and I've been struggling with abnormal pap smears for 3 or 4 years now, and now look at me. Instead of putting it off because I didn't want to go because I was hurt and scared, I just went and I did it. And it was there. Cancer is there, but it's in stage 1. It's curable. So get your appointment. Get your appointments done, bitches. I'm telling you. Once you go to stage 2, then you have to do chemo. Nobody wants to do that. It's scary. So get your appointments done.
Absolutely. That's what I was going to say. It's like,
good to see she still has the Snooki energy as she delivers that message too.
And but I think that's what makes the impact, right? This is what the conversation was back when Princess Kate was diagnosed with cancer, and there was this whole big secrecy moment around it, and then there was an official announcement of a diagnosis. But waiting is the enemy here. And that platform, anyone who has any kind of platform should be pushing for early intervention, for going, if you suspect something's wrong, go and get it seen to, because it might be uncomfortable, it might be awkward, but at least you're doing your part to make sure that you can be around to support these people, that we don't have to have GoFundMes for you. Because, it is all well and good to be awkward and go, oh, I don't want to, but in the long run you would rather be here than especially tap out in a way that's not great. All right, I have some family fractions and factions to talk about in A View From Everyone is a little bit Hillary Duff obsessed these days. The millennials are driving the cause. But Hillary just has stepped forward to discuss her relationship, her very strained relationship with her sister, being a focal point of her new album, and definitely addressing it. One of the songs is called We Don't Talk, and it is about Hailey. And she was on, she basically just set the record straight, saying, yes, it's definitely about my sister. This was to CBS Mornings. And just absolutely the most lonely part of my existence is not having my sister in my life at the moment. It's funny, as a person that exists in the world without my other half, so many people are having that experience. A lot of conversations I have with people like, yeah, me too. So So Hailey is the older sibling, right? And this is always kind of a sticking point. When there is this kind of fraction between siblings, who should, I know that should is a big word as well, make a first move towards not necessarily even reconciliation, but understanding or opening a conversation, especially when there's been distance over time. Because it becomes habit. When you don't talk to people, when you set up that boundary, it can become very easy to not talk to them anymore. And just, it's the simpler, easier thing.
Yes.
But she obviously misses her sister. She says that it hurts her. So who should step in? I think Trina is the go-to for. She's like, go. What do you think?
Like you said, should is a big word. And I like when it comes down to people and arguments, and because like I'm an only child, but I've had friends that are like sisters, and we've gotten into situations where we don't talk, and the longer the silence goes on, the harder it is to get back to each other. And I think just whoever's able to drop the ego and say, you know what, my relationship with you is more important than whatever the hell we were fighting about. Because at the end of the day, it's like, okay, like, can we get past whatever, you know, I don't know why they're fighting. I don't know why they're mad at each other, but at the end of the day, like, can they get over it? And if, you know, Haley's all upset because of, for whatever reason, like, Hillary's going to have to let go of whatever, you know, kind of give her the you win this one kind of argument. And
yeah.
But it is also, I guess, on the flip side, it is always hard if you're the one always having to let go of things to keep a relationship
for sure
functioning. Is that a healthy relationship to have if you're constantly compromising?
Well,
your own,
I think any relationship is compromise.
Whatever.
Just
but if it's
a
one-way street. Yeah.
Well, but the thing too is, like, maybe if you really want the relationship back, it's accepting the relationship and then removing whatever expectation that you continuously keep getting let down on. Because a lot of the time we get into arguments and we get in a fight with people, it's because we have an expectation of how they should show up. And if you just love them for where they are and say, okay, like, this is the capacity you have, I'm not going to ask more or less of you, like, but that means you can't access this type of part of my life because I need to protect myself in this way, but like, I still want you here. Then you have, like, you know, I think it's when people want all of it, and it's like, some people don't have the capacity to meet you where you want them to meet you.
But it's also, there is this thing, and I notice it with my own friends and people that I know, that they think just because someone is family, there's this all-encompassing need to have a close bond and ride or die for that person, no matter what they do, their attitudes towards things. There's been talk, especially between these two, that it is a political / ideological difference. How do you compromise a personal belief to have a relationship with someone just because they're your family? I don't think that for me, it's not something I could do. It's just like, okay, well, if that's what you want to believe, that's cool. But these women also have children, and I can understand if someone's wearing a certain color hat or, you know, believes in this and all that kind of stuff. That's not the energy you want around your kids, but this is still your family member. And the pressure is that they're your family member, so you should love them regardless, and you should have a relationship. I don't know.
You can love them regardless and still not let them in your life because you've had to create a boundary to keep yourself safe.
Yeah.
But this is the thing that, and we have famously talked about boundaries before. The suggestion that you need to set up X, Y, and Z boundaries with somebody who's supposed, like, the storybook golden book image that we've been given is family, unconditional love, no matter what. But you have to set up these boundaries to have a relationship.
Saw a news article where a man murdered his parents, so I don't really know if we going along those lines.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think we can subscribe to these 1950s everything's fine, the family is the family, no matter what happens, ideals anymore, when there are certain things that you can't compromise on. Violence, sexual assault, ideological things. There are things that aren't forgivable. And that you shouldn't be forced to have a relationship with someone just because they're your blood.
Is that what Haley did?
No, I'm just throwing big pictures.
No, I don't know that tea.
No, I don't think Haley's that evil.
I have not a lot to say about this because I won the sibling lottery. My sisters are my best friends in the whole world. But there are cousins that I have cut out of my life because they've crossed boundaries, and I don't regret it. I don't feel like I owe them a relationship. because we're related by blood or share DNA. If they're going to disrespect me or treat other people cruelly, then I don't want them around.
I see, and it's weird because a lot of the time it's other people's expectations of your relationship with your family that you're trying to like kind of adhere to. You're like, but why? Why do I give a fuck what you think about how I interact with my family?
Well, I can guarantee you that if my grandmother were alive, she'd be preaching forgiveness, that blood is thicker than water, and you have to love your family no matter what. But she's not here, and I've made my choices.
Well, Jeff has been very outspoken about, his family issues, and they resolve and change. And I think that's the important thing to understand. These relationships do resolve and change with wisdom, with time, with understanding, with empathy,
and with
all that kind of, and education and expectation.
But it's Trina was saying, changing your
expectations. It's not a forced thing. You can't just go, well, your family, suck it up.
Well, that's usually where the problems come, because someone's like, I'm allowed to treat you like crap because I'm your brother and I get to do whatever.
You're not.
No, that's not how this works.
That's not how that works. And I think it's people kind of like lob that in with a bit of, everyone's so woke now about their feelings. It's like, no, it's just wanting to be a happy, healthy human being, that you can deny someone access to you, or you can put a barrier between you and somebody who doesn't make you feel good, safe, healthy. Like, that's an okay thing to do. You are under no obligation to put yourself in any kind of discomfort / harm just because people expect you to. That's not a woke ideal. That's just human survival, people.
Right. Right.
Like we don't have to live in the
people stop
hush silent days anymore.
For generations. This isn't new.
No. But yeah, I think that when, I guess especially with this one, she's speaking, like, she's monetizing it, really, let's be honest. She's putting it out there going, we don't talk anymore. I'm sad about that. So reach out. So I wrote a song about it, which is an artist's prerogative, yes? An artist's prerogative is to do that.
Inspiration from their life, absolutely.
But again, before you release the art, you should maybe try and make the effort. Maybe she has. We don't know. We don't know. But it's always a matter of, no matter who it is, somebody's going to have to compromise something. I don't know whether that's even the right word, but for any kind of progression or reconnection, there has to be someone that is willing to put down their sword first. I won't say compromise. And I don't think that's me.
And then also too, like, it is important for and this isn't all the time, but it is important that the other side is like, okay, I see what you're doing, and like, I want to be a part of that and rebuild with you. Because sometimes it's like, great, and then they just continue to do.
And the behavior continues because they've just finally given in. You're like, oh, well, that's fine. I'm right and everything's good. You're like, no, bitch, that's not the point. Somebody who does have a point always is our lovely Vera. The papers are rustling, so it can only mean it is time for Vera then. Okie dokie, Miss V. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, win.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about the Olympics, specifically the U.S. men's hockey team. On Sunday, the last day of the Olympics, the U.S. men's hockey team won the gold medal against Canada. It was an exciting, thrilling game that no one expected them to win. And it was a moment of unity. There was a lot of celebratory, patriotic, yay, go Team USA. And everybody was cheering, and people were all excited about this. And then came the phone call. Now, some of you may not know this because you live in other countries and who knows where our news goes these days. But Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, was in Italy on business in a government plane and partying with the American team. He was in the locker room after the victory, drinking beers, cheering, jumping up and down, and he pulled out his phone and called the president. Put the president on the speakerphone, and the president proceeded to congratulate the team. And in his speech, he made a really inappropriate remark. But this is Trump. This is not the problem. This is the expectation. But after the president made this tasteless remark, something truly, truly disappointing happened. And the boys in the room laughed. The two sides to every story people were very quick to defend the boys in the room. You know, boys will be boys, you know, completely excusing it. It's just locker room talk, you know, another excuse. Why are you so sensitive? Let's blame the victim. You know, spirits were high. Nobody meant anything by it. A little gaslighting. But this is the moment that's where rape culture starts. This is the point where female accomplishment gets diminished. You know, the Trump's comments started with, we have to include them, as if they aren't worthy. He went on to say, I'll get impeached, as if he was the victim for not wanting the women there to celebrate with the men. And yeah, I get that nobody in that room talked about tits and ass and how she looked and what she wore. But this is the moment where it becomes all right to otherize women. This is the moment. Every single woman who heard that phone call and heard that reaction has heard this, has seen this before. You know, no matter what we achieve, we are never good enough. The smartest woman in any team is not necessarily the one that's going to get promoted because her efforts are too valuable to the team, but they're going to promote the man really quick because he belongs in management. You know, we know this. Every woman who's ever played sports understands this moment. This moment was that men are important and women are not. Every moment, every bullying moment has several key ingredients. The first key ingredient is a power dynamic. And of course, this man had the power dynamic. He's the president of the United States, and he's a known bully, and he's been a bully for his entire fucking life. So we have our power dynamic and we have our bully. But the third element, the most important element in any bullying situation, is the first follower. And all you boys in that room were the first followers. You fucking laughed. You validated that criticism of women. You validated that diminution of these women and their accomplishments. You participated and you validated what the president had said. You gave him permission to continue that vein and to minimize these women. Now, he's the president of the United States. No one expected you to throw hands. No one expected you to call him out and say, listen, fuckwit, you know? But all you had to do was shut up. If you had stayed silent, if that joke had not landed, then he would not have the power and this behavior would have been extinguished. Now, all you had to do was shut up. There's a whole lot of people standing around going, well, not all men are rapists. No, not all men are. But all men need to be there to stop this kind of behavior, you know? And not all of them failed. There was a person or two who walked out of the room. There was a gentleman who said, when the president said, "Oh, no, we're going to have to invite the women," absolutely, you have to invite them. And there was another person in that room who said, "They did it. We're 2 for 2," and cheered them on in that moment. But all of you doubled down. The ones that didn't stand up, the ones that didn't stay silent, doubled down. And we heard things like, you know, "Why are you being so sensitive? Why are you politicizing this?" Nobody's politicizing this. It wasn't political just because it was the president. But when you went to the White House to eat your bad hamburger, that was tradition. Lots and lots of athletes have sat down with the president after a sports accomplishment in this country. But it became political when y'all trotted your ass out to the State of the Union and applauded this political agenda. You made it political. And there are people in that room who surprised me, and people in that room who disappointed me. And the two people that I'm going to call out right now are Jack Hughes. When I discussed with my friends that I was going to do this rant this week, they're like, "Oh, well, you can't call out Jack Hughes. He stood up for Pride Night." Well, good for you, Jack Hughes. You stood up for a bunch of fucking t-shirts. But when the pedal went to the metal, you did not stick up for the human beings. That's not winning. And you know who else I'm calling out? Ellen Hughes, who's Jack Hughes' mother, who is the coach of the female Olympic team, who has stood up for women's sports for 20 years and who sat down and said, "Boys will be boys. This is not how it was meant to be." Well, Ellen, you failed your team and you failed your boys, because this is a teaching moment and we need to teach our boys to stand up when no one else is in the room, because this is where the bullying turns into something worse.
So, as Joe says, the men's team got cold McDonald's cheeseburgers and the girls went to Stanley Tucci's. Some really nice food. So
yes,
we know who the winners. We know who the winners really are. It's all good. We've been kind of the show has ended on some down in the dumps moments the last couple of weeks. So I thought I'd give us a little bit of a palate cleanser? Question mark.
What the?
Now, we've been all about lists recently. We love lists. Lists are the things to do. We are all talking about lists. The list we haven't talked about is one from the US Department of Health. Strange, right? US Department of Health. What could they have to offer us? Well, RFK and his folks have offered us some advice on the best foods to insert into your rectum. The government has launched a new dietary guidance website linked to the updated dietary guidelines for Americans 2025 to 2030, which emphasizes the importance of consuming nutrient-rich whole foods and limiting consumption of ultra-processed foods. Visitors to the site will find an AI chatbot urging them to get real answers about real food. And this is how the list came about. Some users decided to go one step further and find out which foods can be comfortably inserted into my rectum. One of the results is, of course, a banana. The other is a cucumber. But the general advice is something that is full of vitamin C, fiber, and water to keep you hydrated. So whatever weekend that you're planning to have, maybe drop by the dietary website and just make sure that you're putting goodness into your body in whichever way possible.
Whichever end you prefer.
Whichever way you want to consume, consume baby dolls. So I hope your palate has been cleansed. This has been Uncensored Radio's UCR Live for another week. We'll be back because the madness never stops, people. It just keeps going. We'll see you soon. Thank you, Trina. Thank you, Vera. I've been Steve. Remember, lots of hydration, nutrients, and
Party
lube,
hat.
I would assume. Party hat.
Where'd my party hat go?
You don't want a paper cut there. Oh,